I get a hop, and nothing gets me down. You got to roll with the jiving and get to that fun. Can't you see me, Mark Ellis got my back against a record machine, and I'm on the cover of a heavy metal magazine. We might as well jive. Go ahead and jive. Jive. Jive talk. See, I happened to see old Mark Ellis's comment down there, so answer delivered and right there for you, pal. But down in this episode, when we get to the comments at the very end of this episode, he asked, hey, is there any way you could do like a jump from Van Halen version of it? It's just the gift that keeps giving, which is, you know, my talents there. I didn't take one single lesson. I didn't even learn how to play the keyboard, and it sounds that good. Welcome back to Jive Talkin, episode 86. I'm getting them all backed up and all weird now. I can't even remember which ones we're at, but welcome to this episode. You're seeing Jacoby Shaddix here because I had a full-on breakdown, but that's not the top story. Top story is Marilyn Manson here, or this big plump penguin-looking fella. But what happened was I dumped my grape juice all over my blouse, down my arm, when I was trying to play the keyboards for Mark Ellis. So everything went all goofy. But welcome back. Let's get into it. We got some stories to tell here, some hard rock and heavy metal news from this week, and then we get into your comments. If you want to see your comments on here, it's a very simple thing to do. Is you just comment on the YouTube video, and we read your comments. I think we've got like 4 or 5 of them, so I'm really happy with that. Let's get into it. This is Marilyn Manson. He has the black lipstick on to prove it. And he's always got to have that eye lens in. He's like, do you want people just to think that I'm some big old dumb turd? No, I'm freaking Marilyn Manson. But Marilyn Manson to plead no contest in spitting and nose-blowing case involving videographer. I don't know how I missed this, but he likes to throw feces. You know, there's lots of things that he throws at people, spit and boogers and everything else. And so he's pleading no contest. No contest. What does that mean? That basically means you're guilty without admitting your guilt, right? Maybe this will tell us. Let's get into the story here. According to the Associated Press, Marilyn Manson will plead no contest to a misdemeanor simple assault charge related to an alleged incident with a videographer during a 2019 concert in New Hampshire. Is there video of that? Manson was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of simple assault after a videographer. Tell the videographer that. Simple assault. It's the videographer accused the singer of spitting and blowing his nose on her at the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion. What a wonderful name. The second charge will be dismissed with a negotiation plea deal according to a filing by his attorney. A no contest plea means Manson will not contest the charge and does not admit guilt. As part of the no contest plea, Manson will pay a $1,200 fine and serve 20 hours of community service for the nose-blowing offense. I wonder if that fine would have went up, this would have happened in 2021. And, you know, he blows a big booger snot of COVID on somebody. They're like, I'm going to own your house now, sir. Back in May 2021, the Guilford Police Department announced that they had an active arrest warrant for Manson in connection with the incident, which occurred in August 2019. So it was kicking off, wasn't it? Or were we just hearing the ringle-dingles about it? According to the affidavit, Manson approached the videographer, whose company was contracted by the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion for the concert season for the first time, put his face close to the camera and spat a big loogie at her. She was struck on both hands with saliva. The shock rocker allegedly returned a second time, covering one side of his nostril and blowing in the videographer's direction. I mean, a snot rocket. Manson performed in Guilford, New Hampshire on August 19, 2019 as part of the co-headlining Hell Never Dies with Yeah, gonna dig through your britches and burn through the ditches, Mr. Robert A. Zombie. In a statement, Manson's attorney, Howard King, said, "It is no secret to anyone who has attended a Marilyn Manson concert that he likes to be provocative on stage, especially in front of a camera. This misdemeanor claim was pursued after we received a demand for a venue videographer for more than $35,000 after a small amount of spit came into contact with her arm. After we asked for evidence of an alleged damages, we never received a reply. This whole claim is ludicrous, but we remain committed to cooperating with authorities as we have done throughout." Seemingly contradicting King's statement, 3 concert attendees, including a security guard, told People magazine that they saw Manson spit and shoot his snot at a camera woman. "He was spitting everywhere, man, and one time it got on her camera, so she wiped it off and looked semi-irritated." I would look extremely irritated. She was just semi. "He noticed that he kept purposely spitting on her camera. One attendee told People magazine, I think her final straw is he got on the floor, got within 2 or 3 feet of her, and hacked a giant snot rocket at her, not the camera. She was pissed off and disgusted. She stormed off, and he just laughed like a son of a bitch. I stopped listening to his music after that. I told my husband I will never go to another one of his concerts ever again." A second attendee concurred with that statement, saying, "Bent down to shoot his snot all over this woman. I can't remember him just laughing about what he did. I was right there when it happened. She was beyond furious. When he did that to her, oh man, oh man." A third man, who works as a security guard at the venue, said, He spit on her a couple of times, and then I lay real close to the camera and blew a huge snot rocket on her. After he did that, she almost threw her camera right down on the ground." Last year, Marilyn Manson confirmed he was dropped by his record label, Loma Vista. That's the same record label as Ghost. A bunch of other good bands. And talent agency CAA, after 15 women have accused the musician of the bad stuff. Manson has denied all allegations, which he called horrible distortions of reality. Yeah, we do not want to dig into that basket. But I did watch that HBO thing. You got to watch all the HBO things, don't you? Even if they're whatever they are, you just got to watch them anyways. So there he is, Plumpskins. Jacoby, he tore his heart open. I thought this was funny. I did a little ticky-talk on it, but Jacoby Shaddix says that Korn, Papa Roach, and Deftones were like the next Metallicas. You know, you got to pass that torch when Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. I mean, they're going to be passing it sooner, right? Then it'll be Metallica and Slipknot and all that, and they'll pass the torch. And Jacoby, he says Papa Roach is in there in the whole scheme of things. In a new interview with Andy Hall of Des Moines, Iowa's radio station Laser 103.3, Papa Roach frontman Jacoby Shaddix addressed Hall's comment that there's always the concern that none of the newer bands will be there to ascend to an arena level status to take place of heritage acts upon their retirement. Jacoby said, "We're watching Metallica step into that Rolling Stone spot right now, man. And Foo Fighters are another one of those groups. And Korn Papa Roach and Deftones, we're like the next Metallicas. You know what I mean? That's it. We're stepping into the spot now. It comes. Didn't I just see something where I was like, watch Papa Roach play for 700 people? You got to go the other way. You got to go up. You know, you got to go to the arenas. You want to get out of the small theaters. And, you know, it's like Mom's Garage. Then it's stinky, dirty, filthy bars. Disgusting 21 and over. Maybe a couple of all-age shows. Then it's into kind of 500 seaters. Then bigger theaters. Then bigger theaters. And then, you know, then you're in the big time with Foo Fighters and stuff. It just comes to, I guess, being able to survive the treachery of rock and roll, of the rock and roll life. If you can do that and still continue to create good art and good music, then we can get into that space. Shaddix also talked about Papa Roach's longevity, saying, "It was my goal, honestly, since childhood. When we first formed Papa, the Pop Roach, back in 1993, we were like, we want to do this till we're just old friends from young years." What? We want to do this till like we're just old friends from young years. And now we're here. I remember playing with Stone Temple Pilots back in like, it had to be 2001. And we opened the show, and it was at a brand new amphitheater outside of Sacramento, and where we were from. And I remember watching their set, and it was like a greatest hits set list. Everything was like, I know that song. Oh, I know that song. And it was just songs after songs. And the show was an hour and a half, and it felt like it was 45 minutes because it was just engaging and entertaining. And it was like, I want that. That's the goal of the band. Let's do that. We saw it alive in front of us. And here we are in 2023, 20 some odd years later, first breaking onto the scene in a major label game and still killing it in the game. Still making music that resonates and is connecting. And I couldn't ask for anything more. And it makes me grateful that I've taken care of myself too. So it's like, I can do this for some more years and not just last, and not just, what? And I'm not just on my last legs. Amen to that. There he is, the Pop Man. Papa Boy. Come to Papa. Papa Roach's latest album, Ego Trip, was released in April 2022 via New Noise Records. That's not a major record label that arena rock bands would be playing in. See, that's the difference. Metallica is on freaking, what are they on? Universal? Or whatever? Foo Fighters, what are they on? They're not on New Noise Records. They're on freaking CBS Records. They're on freaking, you know, whatever it is. I'm not, you know, nothing bad about New Noise Records. I'm sure they're a fantastic record label. They're just not. Clive Davis ain't taking a shit in the other room, if you know what if I'm saying that correctly. Let's see. In partnership with ADA Worldwide, Warner Music Group, independent labels and artist service arm. There you go. Papa Roach recently announced the digital deluxe edition of Ego Trip and the long-awaited release date of Ego Trip Standard Edition on vinyl. The 20-track digital deluxe release features remix versions of songs from the original record, as well as new music. Ooh. Slash, guys. Do you know who Slash is? I feel like everyone knows who Slash is. And why is he wearing a baseball cap? That sure as hell isn't a top hat. And I don't like Slash when he relaxes. I want him to wear that top hat everywhere he goes. Slash, if you haven't heard, is working on a blues-oriented new solo album featuring a bunch of different singers. I gotta read this, guys. I gotta find out. Guns N' Roses man, the Slasher, the Slash man. Guns N' Roses guitarist Slash has revealed to Yahoo Entertainment that he is working on his second solo album. The follow-up to his 2010 Slash is described by the 57-year-old Axeman as having a bunch of different singers. They better be good singers. And I can see a line of singers right down here, but I'm not even going to look my eyes down on them yet. I'm going to keep reading and not even look. A bunch of different singers, and being sort of similar to my first solo record, which featured, these are the old ones. These are old ragamuffins. That was on his first record. Fergie, Adam Levine, Ozzy Osbourne, Dave Grohl, Lemmy Kilmister, rest in peace, Chris Cornell, rest in peace, Nicole Scherzinger, and other vocalists, but more blues-oriented. So that's all he's just basically saying. All these people that you see on my last record singing, I don't want any of them because they don't have any bluesy qualities to them. They're rock singers. 2 of them are dead. I'm looking for some people to sing. According to Slash, the upcoming LP, which will definitely come out in 2024, so relax everybody, will include a guest appearance by the pop superstar Demi Lovato. She sure has broken into the metal. The metal folks love her, don't they? Because she's working with Nita Strauss and all that. There's not really much more to tell you at this point. Lovato and I definitely recorded something, he said. In addition to the collaboration for Slash's next solo album, GNR guitarist guested on Lovato's rock version of her 2017 song, Sorry Not Sorry Baby Honey Cakes, I'm sorry. Not sorry, not... I'm sorry about that. Which will appear on her revamped LP due out in September. I told her, if you ever need me to put some guitar on something, and I mean anything, Demi, anything, you just let me know and I'll do it. And so she hit me back about 2 weeks, 3 weeks later. I thought she was ghosting me, but then she got a hold of me 2 or 3 weeks later and said she got this song that she's doing a remake and asked me if I'd lay down some hot licks on it. Guns N' Roses did a show in Norway and I had a day off, so I found a cool engineer and a studio in Norway and just put the guitar on. We just put the guitar on there. It's amazing how fast it came out. Slash added the two tracks sound completely different from each other, so it's interesting how diverse her voice can be. So what he's saying is, on this Sorry Not Sorry, he listened to the R&B version so he could, get the feel. And then he listened to the Sorry Not Sorry rock version that he then played the solo on. Although Slash's upcoming LP will be his second under the Slash banner, he has released a handful of albums in his long-running band Slash, featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators, in which he is joined by Alter Bridge's frontman Miles Kennedy. Last month, Slash said that he will resume touring with Slash featuring Miles Kennedy. That's just the worst band name ever. Can't you just call it Slash and Miles and get over it? Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators next year. The Guns N' Roses guitarist revealed a timetable for Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators return to the road while discussing his plans for the coming months in an interview with NME. He said, I'm on tour with Guns N' Roses until October. Then in January, I go out with my other band, the Conspirators. So there you have that, okay? Look at this. A little TikTok I did about this, but it was more about the boy that was in the video, Jeremy, and how miserable his life came. I just realized this camera's a little high. I feel like I'm sitting down low.
Hey, what are you doing, Mom?
But I wanted to read this because it's pretty tragic what happened to that kid that was bullied. Jeremy, the song Jeremy, gnashed the teeth, bit the recessed lady's breasts. But that's a still image of Eddie Vedder from that video that I could not. Every time I saw that, the way he tilted his head and shit in that video, I went, God, someone get that guy out of here. MTV Moon Man Award statuette for Pearl Jam's iconic video Jeremy, acquired by Rockaway Records. See, it has nothing to do with the kid, but I felt like they'll put something in. An original 1993 MTV Moon Man awarded to Pearl Jam iconic and controversial Jeremy music video has been acquired by Rockaway Records. The award was presented to the band's longtime former manager, Kelly Curtis. The rare Moon Man statue is up for sale along with the additional Pearl Jam memorabilia at rockaway.com. So they just bought it to sell it? The groundbreaking and provocative Jeremy music video, directed by Mark Pellington, who did Arlington Road and Going All the Way. Those porno movies? Pretty sure I've seen Going All the Way. Exploded into the public consciousness in the late summer of 1992, pushing the band's career to another level. The video remained a cultural staple for well over a year, taking home 4 MTV Video Music Awards, including Best Metal Hard Rock Video, Best Director, Best Group Video, and Video of the Year at the 1993 ceremony. The design of the Moon Man, I was hoping they were going to talk about that kid. The design of the Moon Man award was inspired by the network's first broadcast in August of 1981. Yeah, it was the Moon Man sticking the flag in the moon. MTV, where they featured footage of the Apollo 11 moonwalk with the infamous image of astronaut Buzz Aldrin on the lunar surface, but replaced the U.S. flag with the animated MTV logo. The Moon Man, created by Manhattan Designs, still remains the symbol of the Video Music Awards nearly 40 years later. Anything about the young boy, the young man? What does this say? Blocked? This video has been taken out, whatever. Clearly I remember picking on the boy, seemed a harmless little fuck. Nash the recessed lady's breast. Okay, quickly about the kid. They picked him. He from Manhattan. The kid was living in Manhattan. He's an actor or whatever. They says, hey, you got the real, you look like someone we can really pick on in this video. So he does the video. His life changes. Supposedly there was grown women going, I want to get that. I want to tear the clothes off that guy, But he ended up dying. So you're going to have to look that up. There's a great story on We Are the Pit about it. And I thought they would mention it in here, but they don't. Hey, fancy fella, what you doing, umbrella? Mark Tremonti, you know him? He does Tremonti, he does Creed, he does Alter Bridge, and he sounds damn near spot on to old Frankie Sinatra. What was he named? The Italian Don Juan? Was that his name? But he's he handed over 20 tunes for a Pinball, Venom, Marvel comic guy. You familiar with Venom? It's like Spider-Man's negative or pissed off, basically, right? I don't know much about it, but Mark Tremonti contributes over a dozen tracks to gameplay of Stern's line of Venom pinball games. The first thing that I'll say about this before we read this is I thought a pinball machine only played, like, if you were lucky, 30 seconds, 50 seconds a minute of a little jingle, because you got all the bells and whistles going off, right? Grammy Award-winning musician Mark Tremonti, Creed, Alter Bridge, and the band Tremonti has contributed over a dozen music tracks to the gameplay of Stern's all-new line of pinball games, featuring one of Marvel's most enigmatic, complex, and iconic characters, Venom. Venom pinball games are available in Pro, Premium, and Limited Edition LE models. Wow. I just want to see if they're going to name some tunes that he's doing. Or they're going to tell us what he got about him. Guys, they're going to tell us. We're going to learn here. Venom, an alien symbiote that bonds with various hosts, including former Spider-Man antagonist Eddie Brock, first appeared in the Amazing Spider-Man comic book series in the 80s. The symbiote gives its host superhuman strength and agility, providing creative and versatile powers of its material. With its unique and visually striking appearance, Venom quickly became one of Marvel's most recognizable and popular characters. Venom has been an inspiration for numerous products, including action figures, underpants, t-shirts, sweaters, collectibles, and now pinball, cementing its continual influence on pop culture in game rooms and entertainment locations worldwide. Stern's Venom pinball games will immerse players into the mayhem of this anti-hero's Marvel universe, featuring more than 20 characters including Eddie Brock, Flash Thompson, Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker, Black Suit Spider-Man, Red Suit Spider-Man, a Green Boot Spider-Man, a Hip-and Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Riot, Agony, Lasher, Phage, is that a Doppelganger? Venomized, ooh, there's a Venomized. Hulk, I know that one. Venomized Wolverine, a Venomized Captain America. Venom's arch enemy, Carnage, is collecting, what is that word? Codus to awaken Null. Knull. Cull. Is that like the king of Venom? The god of the symbiotes. Oh, it's the god of the symbiotes. Null is the god of the symbiotes. Guys, Venom must stop Carnage by battling through... I thought it was a pinball machine. You smack the ball. Venom must stop Carnage by battling through his army of symbiotes and then infected to prevent him from taking over the world. All in a pinball machine? I mean, let's look at that's a pinball machine, right? That I'm looking at? I didn't know they were that complex. Limited to 1,000 games globally, the highly collectible limited edition model includes a Venom versus Carnage inspired full-color mirrored back glass, full-color high-definition reflective foil decal cabinet artwork. This sounds like a pinball machine to me. Custom high-gloss Venom-inspired goo powder-coated pinball armor. A custom designer autographed bottom arc. Inside art blades. Upgraded audio system. Anti-reflection pinball play-filled glass. Shaker motor. A sequentially numbered plaque. And a certificate of authenticity signed by Stern President and CEO Seth Davis. My heavens, should we see this? Okay, I'm going to click this, guys. When I click it, if they try and ding my video, you won't see this ad, but let's see. I mean, it looks cool. It's great. Yeah, you're smacking pinballs. So when they say, I like this beat. And there's a little bell that dings. Does it show cartoons and stuff in it? Sounds like Rob Zombie. Wonder if they borrowed this from... Yes, indeed. All righty, let's get into your comments. There we have that. That was neat enough. There's only 1,000 of them. I hate to burst your bubble. I don't want to, get you upset. I don't think you're going to get one. If there's only 1,000 of them, that's neat enough. But the good news is all the pinball places will probably put a pre-order in. So at least in the next year, you'll be able to go into a Nickelmania and play it when they downgrade it from a quarter or whatever. Bust that out. Put a nickel in it. No one plays them anymore. Let's get into your comments. You ready for that? Grape juice all over my blouse. Have a sip. I don't know what it is about that. I love that. I'm not a big fan of grape, but man, that's good. Mike Buchanan coming in here. Well, this week I decided to change up the movies that are bad. We love them anyways. I started watching Catwoman of the Moon, but soon discovered that there's a Riff Tracks version used to be by MST3K, and yep, made the movie so much better. Tagline, they wear black tights and lure astronauts. What's not to enjoy here? Love that movie. Love that movies are made before anyone on Earth had any idea what the moon was really like. I really suggest if you watch this, watch the Riff Tracks treatment. Yeah, I love those. The Riff Tracks and MST3K, all of it. The new versions of MST3K with the new host, but all the old stuff too. It's just great. Just great. It's good for a giggle and a fun time. There is a show, just to stay on topic of kind of here. You've got to see this. It's a 3-part. It's probably about 6 hours long. It is the most amazing paranormal show you'll ever watch. And I really want to I want to do every episode and stop and start it and break down the whole damn thing. It's called The Paraseekers. And the great thing about it is this dude, you can tell, his name's Sergio. He does all of it. He's doing the editing. He's doing they're trying to have it scripted, but they're also trying to investigate. And what's funny is he goes crazy with the special effects all over the place. But then when they get down to business, you know, it's almost like he's learning how to do each thing in Photoshop or whatever. So he's doing these blasts and just all this shit. I'll shut up really quick. But when they get to the ghost hunting, absolutely uncut, no special effects. And then it turns into smoke or whatever, you know. So it's like riddled with special effects. But the acting, everything about it is fantastic. So it's on Tubi. Check it out. It's called The Paraseekers. And this guy's an Italian guy, Sergio. And you will absolutely love this. Anyways. Back to Mike Buchanan here. I'm a terrible Iowan. I do not like Slipknot. Oh my gosh. However, I did go see Corey Taylor and his wife live about a month or so ago. And I never heard of Deadfront or Jim Root. Guess I'm too old now. Well, Jim Root's in Slipknot, bud. Props for saying Des Moines properly. Did I? So it's Des Moines. It's not Des Moines, it's Des Moines. Hey, and you're welcome for that. You know, I aim to please. What a great time to let out a belch. I wouldn't be comparing Corey with Springsteen. That's my Jersey pride coming out. I have to hand it to him. Rick's a great guy. Rick Allen, he's a sweetheart. He wears the button-up shirts and he hangs out with the, you know. Remember that one time, though, when he was dating that one girl that was getting on his nerves all the time? And he was on the plane and they had to handcuff him to his belt loop in the back because he tried to lay hands. So he's gotten better. He's doing better and he's a sweetheart of a man now. Go over to Eric's YouTube page. He does tons of covers. He's a fantastic singer. Skid Row, choose wisely with picking him to be their new singer. I agree. I think he's a great tune. But although they canceled some more gigs for health stuff, so I hope there's nothing, you know, going on with him. But his immune system is probably down, you know, because he did, you know. I've done a few videos, I don't know if you know this or not, Mike, but about Skid Row. And it's amazing to me, you can do a video that's, you know, saying, let's see this new Skid Row singer. It's now a year or something old, and people are going, he had cancer, you son of a bitch. And it's like, well, this is pre that. I didn't know, but his immune system might be down. I don't know if it's him that's sick, but he canceled shows. But I agree, he's doing good. He's revitalized them. People are talking about him. I bet you the venues and the gigs are going up and the money's going up. And now, Jive Talkin jokes from Mike Buchanan. I want to create a product that's a laxative but also contains Advil for the pain. Gonna call it I Be Poopin'. Why don't ants get sick? Because they have little antibodies. While out walking yesterday, I spotted an albino Dalmatian. It was the least I could do. What? All right, moving on. Two fish are in a tank. One says to the other, "Do you know how to drive this thing?" The other one turns and says, "Holy crap, a talking fish." Hey, that's kind of like, what was that? What was that fun Disney movie with Dora in it? She said that. Didn't she say those kinds of things like that? Where she's like, "Oh my God, I'm talking to myself." What was that movie? You'd think that a snail without its shell would move faster, but it's actually more sluggish. Who knew? And, let's see. I almost was going to get into the final. And how many tropical birds does it take to change a light bulb? Well, one can't, but two can. Well, one can't, but two can. Finally, here we go. Did you hear the news? Norway is putting barcodes on the side of all of their Navy ships. Yep. Now they can Scandinavian. Miss Althea coming in here. The dumbstruck fool says Gene Simmons. She's talking Gene Simmons right here. This story was unfortunately a bunch of blah, blah, blah to me, primarily because I could not get past the vision of that went away in a minute. Sorry, excuse for a sex tape of his, with his, what? With foreigners. Oh boy. I could not get past the vision of that. Went away in a minute. Sorry, excuse for a sex tape of his with foreigners. I want to know. Okay, gotcha. I want to know what love is playing in the background. Or was it waiting for a girl like you? Either way, ew. And Gene is the last person I would ever listen to on the subject of love. Right. Okay, it's all coming back to me now. You know, yeah, he's, it was like 5,000 women that he says he made love to over the years in Kiss. And he was still doing that. I mean, I saw, like, from last week, it was a short, YouTube short. And he's down there going, bang, you, I want you doing it, bang, bang. Miss Althea on Corey Taylor and Duff, Rick Allen, and Wolfie. They should all go on a double date and celebrate their collective bromance. Both of those stories needed was a 1980s throwback clip between them of Chuck Woolery going, "We'll be back in 2 and 2. Yeah. She's got something on Eric Gronwall, who's currently sick right now. Eric Gronwall, I think his rendition of The Trooper sounds amazing, but to be honest, should anyone really be messing with that Maiden classic? Yeah, it's, I would like to see more singers do obscure stuff, you know, because, I mean, but if you got to do it for the algorithms, okay? You can't do, you know, I don't know. You know, you couldn't do it. You got to do a hit. Or if you want to be in the algorithms on YouTube, you got to do hits, big hits. So they got to, you know. He's like, I know, Run to the Hills at the Trooper and Wasted Years. And Miss Althea on Bad Movie Endorsement. I am backing up Mike B's recommendation of Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women. Not only is it deliciously awful, but it stars the very underrated and often overlooked blonde bombshell, Mamie Van Doren. Wow. Come on. Yeah, wasn't she like the Marilyn Monroe's, like Marilyn Monroe and her was like, what the fuck are you doing here, bitch? And because they had that kind of similar vibe going. Miss Althea on Kiss solo albums. I don't think there is any argument among OG fans that Ace and Paul had the best. Yes. While Gene's had some decent material, I think he was trying too hard to be eclectic. And while Peters also had some decent material, hardcore fans simply and unfortunately did not appreciate where he was coming from with his musical roots. I agree with that 100%. Because that's where I was at. I was like, But Ace and Paul's were just, had some pretty good jams. Let's face it, fans were expecting 4 Kiss albums, but we only got 2. But we really only got 2. Remember, yes, the individual posters that joined together like puzzle pieces to make the banner length one. Yep. I didn't have Peter Criss's record, and I don't think I had Gene's either for a long time. And by the time I got it, it didn't have the poster. But the one I got as a kid with Paul Stanley, yes, it had the cartoon animated poster. I wanted to get them all, but you can't buy things when you're 6. You have to beg your mother. And like, shut up, God damn it, I already bought it for you. Remember the individual posters? I still have mine. Oh, and it is still in pretty decent condition. Corner pinholes, yep. Tape residue and all. I did all the tape. I did. Then you go, I want to keep these better, so you do the pins. Then there was a third option. Do you remember that one? The little tack. I had that little taffy tack. You tear off a little piece, put it on the corners, hang on the wall. Until it got really hot, and then they would just all fall over the floor and shit. But Miss Althea on Ant Music for Sex People. How appropriate that you riffed on Stand and Deliver, Adam and the Ants, during the reading of my rebuttal on the subject of dandies, considering the first line of the song are, I'm the dandy highwayman. Oh, it is. I'm the dandy highwayman, and you're too scared to mention I spend my cash on looking flashy and grabbing your attention. I need to listen to the Prince Charming album like now. Wow, that's great. All right, Miss Althea, there's your heart. Go listen to your Prince Charming. We'll do that. Mark Ellis, now reading, he wanted some Van Halen. By heavens, he got it. He got it. Not bad. Do you think we could work up an arrangement for Jump? Boom. Boom. There you go. And white bread coming in. The rock stars really live in their own universe, don't they? When they kiss each other's ass, I believe that's why that's what we call networking, maybe, ? Yeah. You never want to goof up a situation where you might down the road be able to do something with another artist. So you want to try, you're not like Dave Mustaine where you just go, crap, this shit, you try to stay, if you can, friendly with them, so that way you can, do a song or something with them later on, so Slash can do it. He's not going to go shit on Demi Lovato unless that she's into that. But, like doing a tune or whatever, because things happen. It's called networking. White bread knows, all right? All right, we're getting out of here. Here we go. God damn it. We're just going to go with a tune. Let's just go. Let's see. Come on, baby. There we go. Talking with me. Jive Talkin. Motherfucking fuck for free. Heavy metal news, lots of fun to have. Where is my damn Jive Talk? Jive Talk. Motherfucking Jive Talk. It's a motherfucking Jive Talk. It's a fucking jogging.